My name's Megan Justema, and thank you so much for giving me the chance and considering me for an opening elementary teaching position in East Grand Rapids Public Schools. It's a huge privilege and honor to be interviewing for this position. A little bit about myself. I grew up in the Grand Rapids area. I graduated from Kenowa Hills Public Schools. Once I graduated, I went to Michigan State, where I majored in elementary education and graduated with my bachelor's degree in 2014. I then went on to complete my year-long student teaching internship, where I student taught in a second grade classroom for a full year from start to finish in Grand Rapids Public Schools. Once I finished my student teaching, I then accepted a position as a reading interventionist for Comstock Park Public Schools. I was a reading interventionist for students K-5, so I worked with all students in those grade levels, helping them better their reading. I enjoyed that job, but ultimately I just wanted to have my own general education classroom, so I ultimately accepted a job in Grand Ledge Public Schools, teaching first grade, where I have been for the past 2 years teaching first grade both years. Why do I want to teach in East Grand Rapids? Well, growing up in Grand Rapids myself, I am very familiar with the East Grand Rapids community, and I have always admired and respected the amount of community and the sense of community that East Grand Rapids has. I feel that the community really supports their schools, and it's so nice to have such a strong sense of support from the community. So I would love to teach for East Grand Rapids just for the fact that community support. But also, like I said, being familiar with it, I know that East Grand Rapids has high quality academics and high quality programs, athletic programs, theater programs, things like that. And it would just be an honor to be able to contribute my professional knowledge to that high academic community. So, what is my favorite children's book and why? It's really hard for me to narrow it down to just one. I feel like every time I do a read aloud in my own classroom, I'm always saying this is my favorite book. But if I had to choose just one, I would probably say it's The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. We just read it in my classroom a few weeks ago because of Earth Day, and I love that book because, it is all about the earth and taking care of the earth and making sure that we respect it and, all about recycling, things like that. But I think it also has a deeper meaning than that can help students throughout their whole life. My favorite line in that book, and it brings tears to my eyes every time I read it, is unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to change. It's not. And that definitely applies to its message of the earth, but it applies to your whole life, really. And that's why I love the book, is really because of that one line. And it's teaching students that if you don't like something in your life, then you're going to have to stand up and make a change, because nothing's going to happen unless you speak up and try to make a change. And so, like I said, it applies to the earth, which is kind of what that whole book is about, but really it applies to your whole life in general in terms of where you are in your life and whether or not you're happy. So that would be my favorite book. Why would I be the best candidate? Well, apart from my knowledge of the subjects that I teach, I have a complete understanding of how to manage students in a positive way. I always say my classroom management philosophy is praise publicly, punish privately. And so I really pride myself on building positive and strong relationships with my students in order to have them respect me and respect each other, really. And I make learning fun. I try to make students have fun and not even realize that they're truly learning. But I also use data to help guide my instruction in terms of what do my students need. So I use data such as NWEA, DIBELS, just progress monitoring, Fontes and Pinnell, and just formative assessments to see what do my students understand, where do I need to guide my teaching towards. So I would say that's why I'm the best candidate. So thank you again for this opportunity. I am so grateful and honored that you have considered me for this elementary teaching position, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.